Hey everyone, before I begin the walkthrough analysis, let me cover what Gotham Knights is all about. You can skip ahead using the timestamps below. Gotham Knights is an action role-playing game set in an open-world Gotham City. The game features 4 iconic characters, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood. Each of them have their own unique playstyle and abilities. While the game can be played solo, it also features a 2-player cooperative multiplayer mode, where a second player can drop in and out at any time. As players level up, enemies will scale as well, giving you, the player, a different experience throughout each playthrough. This doesn't mean, however, that enemies will become more spongy like in Ubisoft games. An example of what I mean is The Division. Enemies will have more abilities and tactics, which to me seems like a good idea. The only downside I see is that there may be a limited number of supervillains in the initial launch. 2 supervillains have been shown so far, which include the Court of Owls and Mr. Freeze. Supporting characters include Alfred Pennyworth and Police Captain Montoya. The game won't follow the same storyline as the Arkham series, which to me is acceptable. I know many fans of the Arkham series are going to be disappointed, so what can you expect from this game? Well, let's talk about the villains that are not shown, but we can hopefully fight. Deathstroke, Killer Moth, Riddler, Two-Face, Bane, Ra's al Ghul. But I suspect we'll be getting at least 2 or 3 of the ones I just mentioned. The game is set to release on 2021, but no official word has been given yet on the exact date. Now let's get on with this walkthrough analysis. As you can see, we're in a building of some sort. I'm going to guess that this is the Belfry that the developers have mentioned, which is basically a base of operations where players can interact with NPCs such as Alfred and possibly other characters, maybe to upgrade your kit, skills, and the way your character looks. Okay, here we can see that we can use a vehicle to transport from one location to another. I know it's been mentioned before, so nothing too new here. I noticed a bit of lag. I'm not sure if that was due to the cinematic recording or if it's an actual thing in the game. I hope it's not an actual thing and that they have improved the performance since this recording, but we'll see how it goes.
Or in 2-player co-op.
He'll get it.
So he used an ability to teleport, and we gained experience even though we didn't really do much.
The Justice League satellite for short-range teleportation.
Yep. Teleportation. So in this scene, you can see the enemies fighting possible allies, the police. Interesting.
Meanwhile, Batgirl has mastered some more familiar techniques.
Doesn't really seem like much is happening except for it kind of waiting for us to do something, which we are now. And yep, we use an ability. That was quite interesting. Let's just go back a few seconds. So it looks like characters can use their environment to attack enemies. Like here, we use the vehicle.
And developed a few new ones of our own.
Seems like the action is going to be very interesting. And here we use an ability that drains our sort of stamina bar. Saw a bunch of other abilities, but nothing too crazy. It seems like they have decided to make the characters talk in a way where it's like read in voice lines, and they pick random ones that they possibly have made and then tie them in together. Doesn't seem like it's like the characters have a personality.
They didn't stand
You
a
know, the
chance.
environmental effects are interesting for sure.
Gotham Knights is built to let players approach each
The
challenge
combat
with their
seems
preferred style and their preferred build.
interesting. So they're showing, I guess, a nice way of attacking enemies in a stealth way.
This only takes
But and here we see the character getting caught, which then makes them discoverable. It looks like enemies have different abilities. So these guys have like some sort of fist, like metal fist. These three, like the brawlers. And there's one range guy at the back, which seems like it has the most amount of damage. And as you can see here, it takes a few seconds for this ability to charge up again. And once it does, it stays in position and doesn't follow you like a turret.
Bad, you're it.
Okay, so we saw where characters can interact with each other, like in the co-op, to attack enemies together. I do want to mention that characters can be identical when playing together. Like you can have two Batgirls, for example. You don't necessarily have to have separate characters. It honestly seems like they put a lot of effort into like the design and decor and everything. It just seems intense. They're trying to make the game look very beautiful.
Belfry, status.
I hope when we are in our little home that we will see the characters without a mask to see who they are really.
Get away from my storm engine!
So we see two things immediately. We saw that this guy has a jetpack and he has a laser beam, just like his minions. And our character is experiencing some sort of cold effect and a
You have
star
very
effect,
different proposition at level 5 or at level 15.
as well as the boss is using abilities that have like a little timer. So you have time to kind of avoid them, which is nice. Nothing too crazy so far. Everything seems kind of
And not just in terms of stats, but
basic.
in the kinds of attacks and defenses they bring to
But
bear.
it does seem like it's going to be a fun little game for sure with the way things are going.
And that was just a short.
And I'm guessing that every so often you take a bit of his health. He does like this little crazy thing where he goes on this platform, does an effect on you.
Peak at Gotham Knights. We're going to have more to show you.
Please consider subscribing for more content like this. Tell me how you feel about this video format in the comment down below. And if you have any suggestions for the direction of this channel.